Hi, eighth graders. We made it to the last unit. This is an important one for next year. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you're getting this idea so that you can be very successful next year in algebra. We're going to be looking at distributing, but in a more complicated way than we did in seventh grade. Okay, in seventh grade, you got a problem like this, 4 parentheses 3x minus 5. And so what we were going to do then is just distribute. And what we did most of the time is we just drew the arrows to say I'm multiplying both of these things by 4. So 4 times 3 was 12, and the x is still along for the ride. And 4 times 5 is 20, and we do need that negative on there. So I've just distributed the 4, multiplied everything 4 times bigger. So what we're doing now is we're going to have 2 sets of parentheses. They're both called binomials, 2 pieces. So a binomial 6x plus 4 times a binomial 3x minus 5. So in theory, what we're going to do is we're going to take the 6x and distribute it to both things. And then we're going to take the 4 and distribute it to both things. So that can get kind of complicated, but we have a very nice way to keep this organized, and it's called the box method. So I'm going to draw a square, and I'm going to break it up into 4 pieces. I'm going to take one of these parentheses and write it across the top. So I've got the 6x, and I've got the 4. And that sign in between is always going to go on that second piece. So that's a plus 4. The other parenthesis is going to go down the side. So I'll write the 3x, and then that minus 5. So if you notice up on the top, I drew 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and you'll notice down here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So this is just a very nice organized way to make sure we do all the multiplications, and it's a little more visual. So this first box right here, I am going to multiply the thing above to the thing to the side. So I'm going to multiply the 6x times a 3x for that box. So 3 times 6 is 18. And then please don't forget the x and the x. Well, there's 2 of them, so I'm going to write it as x squared. Okay, now we're moving to this box over here to the side. It's the 4 above times a 3x on the side. So 3 times 4 is 12. I'm going to remember that positive sign, and I'm going to remember that x. Okay, move into the bottom row. I've got 6x times negative 5. So 6 times negative 5 will be negative 30. And that x didn't change. It can't disappear, but it's not going to change. And then my last box there, looking straight up is the plus 4. Looking straight over is the negative 5. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. So there are my 4 pieces. Now we're usually going to have to clean this up just a little bit, because do you notice that these 2 in the middle both have x's? So I'm going to bring my 18x squared down. I'm going to bring my minus 20 down. But what I'm going to do with that middle is I'm going to say, what is a positive 12x minus 30x? And that answer combined is going to go in the middle there. So that is negative 18x's. Please don't hesitate to use a calculator. You'll find out when you get to algebra in high school, that calculator is probably just going to sit in your hand the entire time, and there's no shame in having the calculator do all that work. So this down here at the bottom is my answer, 18x squared minus 18x minus 20. That's a trinomial answer, notice. Okay, here's another set, 7x plus 8 and 2x plus 5. So I'm going to start by making a square, dividing it into 4 pieces. I'm going to write one of them across the top. Again, that plus goes with that second number, the 8. The other parentheses going down the side, again, that plus goes with the second number, the 5. So that first box is looking straight up 7x, looking straight over 2x. What is 7x times 2x? Well, 7 times 2 is 14, and x times x is x squared. My next box over here is looking straight up a plus 8, and looking straight over a 2x. So that is a plus 16x. On the bottom row, of looking straight up at the 7x and straight over at the plus 5, that is going to give me a positive 35, 7 times 5, x. And my last one is a 5 times 8, which is 40. Usually these two in the middle are going to have the same term, so we can put them together. My 14x squared and my 40 are the only ones like them, so they come down. But I'm going to say, what is 16x plus 35x? So that gives me 51x's. So in the middle, I put 51x, and I do need a sign in front. So if you haven't written it already, it would be a positive 51x. Okay, these can be a little easier when we don't have numbers on those x's. So here's an example of that. I draw my box, break it into 4 pieces. I label one of them across the top. I label the other one down the side. That first box is just an x and an x, so that is just plain old x squared. This next box, looking up, is a plus 8, looking over is an x, so let's just put that all together, plus 8x. Likewise on the bottom here, putting this minus 3 with the x is minus 3x. And then the last box over here is the plus 8 times the negative 3, which is negative 24. Looking for my 2 that match on the diagonal. I've got the x squared, I've got the minus 24, but I'm going to say, what is 8x minus 3x? That is a positive 5x for the middle. Let's do one more. This is a special case, but you'll see why at the end. We're going to draw our box, 4 sections, one across the top, one down the side. First box, x times x. Second box, positive 12 times x. Second box, negative 12 times x. Negative 12 times positive 12 is negative 144. Look for the pair that matches. Now, why this one is special is because when I pull it to the side and say, what is 12x minus 12x, that gives me nothing. So I'm going to put nothing in that spot there. So my answer is just going to be this x squared minus 144. Okay, so on your homework, it's just these ones. Make your box of 4, put them in there, multiply whatever is above times whatever is on the side.